Okay, now we're in System Settings, Staff Vendor Keys first. This is the maximum number of times limited use keys are valid. We can only go up to 7 or down to 1. These are for those special limited use keys that are only designed to be used a couple of times before they auto expire. So the default's set to 6. Change it to whatever you would like it to be. Emergency keys. Does the site allow emergency keys or not? Emergency keys can unlock any door, no matter what. If privacy's turned on, it'll still unlock it, and it works on every door. The danger of emergency keys is if you lose one, you've got to make a new key and take it to every single door to reprogram those locks to that new key. So be careful with emergency keys. In my mind, they're designed to be put in a Knox box for the fire department, and that is about it. Failsafe keys. We don't use this as much in apartments as they do in the hotel industry. Basically, this is making some keys that are able to be used without the computer being on to hand out an emergency. Say if the computer crashed or power was out. That's where hotels tend to use them a bit more. They have a set of keys, typically 3 keys for each room. Sequence 1, 2, and 3 for every single room on the property. They keep them in a binder, keep them in the safe. So if somebody comes in, wants to check in while the power's out, they could give them one of those keys, and you could have it set to a duration of 1 day or 2 days. Typically those are set for 1 day because you're not going to be without power long, typically. So they would give that person a key. That would let them in the room, and it would work for that 1 day. And see, auto expiration time 11 a.m. That's typical for a hotel. We don't tend to use those very much in the apartment industry, but the option is there. And then let's look at key expiration. This is basically how long keys are valid by default, and each of these can be changed. You've got all your different staff and vendor keys here, whether it's electronic lockout toggle key, the emergency key, inhibit. All these different keys, by default, we have them set to be valid for a year. If you want to change one, like say this emergency key, I'm going to click on it and hit edit. I'm going to run that up to 9 years, just because I'm probably going to stick it in the Knox box and I don't want to have to remake it every year. And I'm going to hit done. Now that key is valid for 9 years, only once I click save. So any keys made from now on, the default on it would be 9 years for the emergency key. You can change that as you're making the key. So these are your defaults for all these. I tend to leave most staff keys at a year at most. Some sites remake them every single day. Some do them once a month. A year is pretty safe bet for those keys to be around. In that period of time, you're either going to lose staff and get new ones you're making another key for, or they're going to lose the key and you've canceled it out, things like that. So 1 year seems to be pretty good. Thank you.